Good morning to everyone. I'm Stefano Dominelli from the University of Genoa. I'm happy to be here for this video of the DISCOM project on soft skills and time management. What I would like to speak with you today is in two videos. Firstly, I would like to have an overview of the basics of time management, what it is, how it works, what the terminology is, what are the basic assumptions underlying the time management skills that you can acquire in the course of your personal and professional life. And then with the second video, I would like to go a little bit deeper on the tools that you can actually resort to enhance your time management skills. This being said, let's go to the basics of time management. And time management, as you can imagine, it's a composed word. It's composed by two different words that have to be analyzed separately if we want to understand what the methodology underlying time management is. On the one side, we have time, of course, and on the other side, again, of course, management. And we have to reflect in the first place what time is and what we mean by time and by time management. Well, time is a social construct. It's something that has been created by humans just to set their activities on the clock. It's something that, in this sense, it's not to be found in nature. Actually, there are three different types of time when we refer to time and to time management. We have, on the one side, an objective and natural construction of time, like for example a day, a night. This is a time span and it's not influenced by human thoughts, human activities or any other. Then we also have, again, objective but artificial time constructions, something that it's not to be found in nature but depends on our mindset. And this is, for example, an hour, a second, a minute. A minute does not exist in nature. It's something that we create using models that we want to develop. And then the third category we can refer to, it's the subjective aspect of time. It's how we perceive time. That's our inner fora. How long we perceive an hour to be, how long we perceive a day to be. But why is this distinction very important for the purposes of time management? Because it helps us setting the scope of our action. When we are speaking of time management, we are not referring to time in the sense of natural time. We are not referring to time as to an artificial objective construction. When we are referring to time management, we are just referring to the subjective aspect of time, of how we perceive time. And time management is it's how we manage our perception of time. It's how we manage the activities that we have within an objective time span in order to increase the perception of utility of our time. It's how we organize our schedule in both private life and professional life to feel that we accomplish more in one specific time frame. So it's related to the efficiency of our activities. It's not that we can manage actually hours. And why is it important or becoming even more important for persons at large to have a proper time management schedule in their life? Well, if you look at the market, simply put, you will see that we had this idea in the past that the job was a 9 to 5 job, where you had to sit in the office and perform certain activities. Recently, just even before the pandemic, when we had smart working from home, the greatest companies acknowledged that the utility from employers and from top-ranking employers, it's not to have them just sitting on the desk from 9 to 5, but it's to have them perform at their best. So they need to organize their schedule, their activities, their actions in the best way possible, even if they don't need to be on the working place 5 days a week. For example, some states like Japan or some companies are now switching from a 5 days week job to a 4 days week job without any cut in wages. So you work less, you get the same amount of money, but the condition is that you maintain at least the same efficiency at work, even though you lose, let's say, 1 day. And this is not only important for persons that are working, that are already on the market job, but it's important for students as well. Because as students, you have to fit in together academic tasks, personal tasks, sport activities, and everything. And if you do not manage properly all these activities, you will be subject to a high level of anxiety, stress, and this will ultimately affect your grades. You will probably have lower grades if you enter like a panic mode where you are doing everything in a rush. And of course, having worse grades or being worse off with grades will lead you to a loss in job opportunities in your future life. So it is important not only for CEOs of great companies to have a clear and perfect time management, but it's important for students as well, because once you become familiar with time management skills, approaches and methodologies, then you can simply use what you already have in the working life that you will have one day. You adjust the schemes that you have. However, to develop time management approaches, it's important for each and every single person to make a self-assessment. So you must identify in your life what is already efficient and what is a source of disturbance, let's say. What it's able to interfere with your programs, what it's able to slow you down, to create moment of burnouts where you don't want to do anything and just postpone your activities. And this is possible, making this self-assessment. It's possible simply by taking a questionnaire. In the materials of the project, there is a questionnaire that you can take, and you will have to answer some very easy questions to identify what your external disturbances are, namely what is coming from the outside world that it's preventing you to be the most efficient, and what are the internal disturbances. So what are your behaviors that are preventing you from getting to the best level, to the best time management possible. And this internal and external analysis of factors refers to what we can say on the one side procrastination and on the other side from distraction. Of course, procrastination, it's an internal source of disturbance in the sense that it is your attitude to make things at a later stage. You have to identify how procrastinator you are, and you have to reschedule things accordingly, because sometimes procrastinating, postponing activities is a direct consequence of having too much time. This is funny because you have too much time and then you postpone activities and then you end up doing things at the very end with bad results, possibly in terms of quality of the works performed. And then distractions, you have to keep in mind that there are several types of distractions. Some you can work on, for example, how many times you check your phone when you're working, how many times you are on social media when you're working or studying. And on these types of distractions, you can actually introduce measures to contain them, like put your cell phone away or anything else. But other types of distractions are not able to be limited by yourself. Like, for example, if you're working and your boss keeps entering the room every half an hour just to have a chat, that's a source of distraction. But he's your boss. You cannot simply say, just stay out of my office. So sometimes you will need to identify also those distractions that are not dependent on you, and as you cannot eliminate them, you will have to incorporate them in your time schedule. So you will need to work knowing that you have distractions, and sometimes you just have to take them. So your timetable will need to include also those type of distractions. And I guess that was it for the first part. And now with the second video, we can move to the tools that you can use in the future to develop a proper time management that suits your activities. So thank you very much.